Oh, that's hot. The fact that I got a kill with a PC controller right now, that just lets you know how my gangster is right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, we developed most of the game just on a NVIDIA 580 card. I mean, if you put it on a 680 card, you should expect, the game we've capped it on the PC side to 125 frames a second, essentially. I think you'll actually be able to push, if we were to unlock it, you'd be able to push between 180 and 200 on it. There's probably more things that we could do in terms of making the look of it even more.
Cause it looks amazing, and it's like the scope of it. You know what I'm saying? Like the landscape view of it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, we wanted to keep the views opened up so that you had good sniper locations, good places to pick people off, but also make it tight enough. Like in here, this sawmill map. I mean, you've got these two buildings on either side, and what's it called? They're playing like really cool for being sniper houses and that type of thing. I see what you're saying. But in here you've got this like almost trench-like feel with all the logs that have been cut and everything else, so that you can get the really tight feel and tight gun battles going on as well. And so there's the maps range in size from being small to really large, but the graphics I think we could do even more to make it even prettier. But the fact of the matter is we don't want to rob people from getting the frames per second. I mean, the whole thing about a shooter is making it really smooth and making it really easy for people to play. And you don't want to feel any of that point where you're running around the map and then you get to a point and you see a bunch of environmental stuff going on and your game lags a little bit.
Yeah, you don't want that. So how many people will be able to play this online at once?
On PC side of things, we'll at top words we're looking at 24, but we may limit it down to 18 or so.
Okay.
The only difference between the Xbox version and the PC version is the Xbox version is a peer-to-peer setup.
Okay.
So you'll have a limit of 10 players. We want to make sure that the connectivity stays strong and is good for all those players. So we're going to limit that at 10 a piece. We're actually going to throw a map into the Xbox version that's a little bit smaller.
Oh, cool.
That won't be available on the PC side, just to give those guys something a little bit new and more tailored to that environment, essentially.
Okay. So you don't have plans to I have another major question after I ask this one too.
Sure.
But you don't have plans to release this on PS4, Xbox One at all. The reason why I said that, because with all the talk of cloud-powered gaming and things that I've seen at E3 and things I'm hearing from Gamescom and Eurogamer, these systems is amazing. From what I'm hearing, man, and from what I've seen and played a little bit myself, just the sharing, the functionality, overall, I just think it's crazy. I would love to be able to have, let's say I got ReKoil on PS4, but then I go somewhere else and I could remotely play some ReKoil on my PS Vita simply because of the functionality of the PlayStation. The reason why I say that is because with the PC market, I love and respect the PC market because it's all hardcore gamers.
Yeah.
But also I know from a mainstream standpoint, consoles live more in that mainstream world. So I feel like from a business standpoint, as a game developer and publisher, I would assume that you would want to grab the best of both worlds with that.
When we started getting into the developing for the console side of things, it was a choice of do we wait for next gen or do we just keep going for it? I mean, for example, there's some of the bigger studios got their dev kits earlier than others did for those systems. So, I believe that with 505 they've just received their PS4 dev kits, within about a month or so ago.
Oh, so it's gonna take a while.
It does take some time, and so we were unsure about bringing it to PS3 or PS4 and couldn't decide. So we kind of just held off and waited on that one until we got the tools. Okay. And we may jump in and go ahead and do that, but it hasn't been guaranteed yet. With the Xbox thing, everyone pretty much had their Xbox dev kits and ready to go. Yeah. And the quick and painless solution was to bring it on to Xbox 360. And to bring it in and get it onto Xbox One, there's not a ton of difference, but it will add a lot of more resources in terms of getting it on there and that type of thing. But you know, it should be pretty easy to port over and bring it to the Xbox One as well once we get going.
Okay.
So that's a publisher decision. I would love to go ahead and make that,
I feel
you know. You know, but we're working with what we laid out when we started working with 505. And
so now with the Xbox One and PS4, now that you got dev kits and you got a chance to take a little peek at it and see what you want to do, every I hear this all the time, you know what I'm saying, from so many developers, whether on the Sony side, they say there's this and that, this is that, and Microsoft people, they say there's this and that, this and that. So, the proof is in the pudding when you see things, but I will say this, from multi-platform developers, I've been hearing more so on leaning in favor of PlayStation 4 from a development standpoint. So because I'm hearing that, that's like an unbiased way of looking at it, because their game got to be on the other platform too. So they're just trying to be honest with the fans, because to be honest with you, these companies work hard to make a platform that we love, but not everybody's gonna get both. Somebody only get one. So you really need to know the truth. So with your expertise in the PC background and looking at these new consoles that's coming with the PS4 and Xbox One and seeing the insides of it, what's your take on the PS4 and the Xbox One? I know they both powerhouses, but when it comes down to the the nitty gritty, who do you feel is going to have the edge overall that more multi-platform developers will actually learn about?
Well, it's really hard for me to say. I mean, both have such promising features that it really leads you just sitting there going, what is better? I mean, to me, being a smaller studio, the indie focus that PS4 is showing by bringing indie titles in right from day one, that's huge. I mean, that's you're going to see things because of that you normally wouldn't see out of the mainstream big time publishers. And so I think that's really, really cool. But I think that the all the features that are in Xbox One with all the metadata and everything else that you'll be able to use with the live TV and all that stuff, I mean, people talk about that as being a negative, but I actually think that the way that infrastructure is built actually allows for a lot of opportunities for esports within the actual Xbox One itself, keeping stats on those esports. So I think they're looking big time, long term, where they can see that this has a bigger life than it actually, it actually.
That's interesting. That's real interesting.
And I don't think people have even really talked about that yet. But when you look at League of Legends selling out Staples Center, I mean, the finals, crazy. That sold out in 6.5 minutes, and the production value that goes into these things is so enormous that it's you're getting to the point where the gaming esport production value for doing live streams and things are becoming comparable and compatible with NFL.
I was like, to be a gamer and to know this is crazy. Shout out to my homegirl Wendy in the back. I just had to give her a shout out because she's sweet. You know what I'm saying? But it brings a tear to my soul, son, because now I feel that on a mainstream level, gamers and game creators, everyone is getting the same just do, because when you think about the Nintendo days, this is just for kids, this is just for kids. Now, I'm sleeping outside to get systems. You know what I'm saying?
It's totally changed. The culture's changed. I mean, I have a 15-year-old daughter. She talks about, we'll be at Comic-Con too in a few days.
I'm gonna be there too, man. I'll be there too, no doubt.
She's like, if you see these, YouTube celebrities, tell them I said hello. You see the reach that this thing has. I mean, and the capabilities and the things that can be done. So I think both consoles are going to do equally as well. I think ultimately the numbers are going to be nearly identical, because I think the services that they're providing are pretty much at the core the same. It's just a question of what one person does better, and I think they're both going to be hitting the mark, to be honest with you.
I like that. Now, in terms of free to play, that business model, what do you think about that? Because I'm hearing so many good things actually about this free to play. And when you was talking about you and your gun and all the mods and stuff like that, and I'm thinking of next generation, I could easily see a game like ReKoil being in that free to play world, that free to play market, and then this right here could be a game changer. This could be a mainstream game changer for you guys. But imagine if I created 7 or 8 maps that was based off Brooklyn or based off some places in New York, something that you don't see because you don't live there, but it's hot to experience. Like, and because of the free to play model, what if there was a way where that buying power could be in the hands of the actual consumer that's creating it, where like if I make something, I can actually make a little money off it, and you guys get a percentage. So even when you don't create, you can still get some sort of money off of it as well, and everybody is just want to create more and make more money and experience the game and make it grow. Well, what do you think of that?